We're just leaving the sales meeting that we just did. Really cool. We had 5 different states on, little over 150 people or so. Some people joining via Zoom, and then others that were joining that were kind of huddled up in some of our PAK houses across the nation, which is really, really awesome to see. You know, the goal of every sales meeting is, in essence, we do them twice a month, and the goal is really to help people almost step out of the realities that they're living in and remind them of how powerful they are. I think a lot of times as agents and just people in business, we could get so heady, and so just because we're in the kind of the more of the minutia of what it is that we're doing. So when we have these sales meetings, a lot of times what I find is that agents will say, oh my gosh, I feel so inspired. I feel ready to go out and attack, you know, and go out and build the business of my dreams. And ultimately what that tells me is that maybe they were living a little bit more in their ego, kind of playing safe, worrying, doubting, things like that, versus playing in their spirit, which is that little thing that we feel when we're inspired, kind of helps us go out, think a little bigger, act a little bigger, play a little bigger. So it was a great meeting, and you know, now time to go get some food. I'm gonna do a regular bowl. Yep. Salad.
So salad?
Yeah. Rice.
White rice too?
Yes, please. Chicken and salmon.
Salmon and extra chicken?
Yes, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
No garnish?
No garnish.
For here to go?
For here, but what do you want?
Oh.
Yeah. For me, I think it's a little awkward when you have the, like, standard traditional, like, oh, you got to film it this way or whatever. Like, I think it's so much easier.
Right?
Yeah, on the go, I think it's just so much easier to just speak because you think about it a lot less,
Right.
you know.
What about in front of people though? Like,
Oh, I love that. If I talk, I always say, like, never afraid of a good crowd. Because if I talk in front of people, I just sit back and I'm like, because I know a lot of times it's not me. I just ask God to just speak through me.
right.
You know, and try to impact somebody or move somebody in a positive direction. Not so much, and also try to be mindful, right? Because, like, I hear people a lot, they'll cuss and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. But I genuinely like to think of it as like God is using me in that person's life. And so what comes out of my tongue, I want it to be a good example. Does it happen all the time? No, because I'm, you know, naturally I'm human, right? So I'm gonna, you know, there's certain emotion that's gonna come out. However, if I can control that, or do at least, you know, do as good of a job at controlling that as possible, I think it comes out a little bit better. But that's kind of my mindset behind speaking in front of people. And, you know, again, I just think that's kind of one thought that I keep in front of, you know, in my mind when I'm speaking.
That food, what you got? What is this place called?
This place is called On and On. Salmon, mushrooms, chicken, broccoli, and some rice, and a salad. So this is kind of funny because this is the first time that we're shooting in a restaurant. So as we were walking in, it's interesting because naturally, like, my mindset was, okay, you know, let's start a YouTube channel, right? However, as we're walking in, everybody's eyes starts looking because you've got a camera.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here talking and I'm walking, right? And it's interesting how quickly the ego starts to think about what everybody else thinks about the scenario. And, you know, that's something that I'm having to let go of right now. And it reminds me of the past when, for example, I was going on my first listing presentation, right? And I was so caught up with, okay, what is this seller gonna think of me, right? Or when I was getting my real estate license and it's taking me back is like, what is my boss or what are my coworkers going to think of me, right? And so the more and more that I've let that go, ultimately, the more I've been able to transform my life. And so I just thought that that was interesting that I had that feeling again. And now I'm starting to think I got to seek that feeling a little more often. So it's kind of funny.
Well, it's only the beginning. It only goes up from here, right?
Oh yeah. But,
Just like the lady who was asking, like, what the mic is. If you're
Yeah.
a movie star, you know?
yeah, what the hell? So I think
Little
just,
does she know.
just in general, like,
Yeah.
imagine how much people deal with this every day.
Yeah.
I mean, what is somebody going to think of me? Like that concept. And the extra sauce is in there?
Yeah,
Oh, thanks, bro. Appreciate you, man. That concept of like, what is somebody going to think of me? I wonder, I know it's held me back before, but I just wonder how many people it actually holds back from going after their dreams and going after their goals. I don't want to say that it's easy, because I don't want to give false I don't want to give false thoughts.
Yeah.
I'll say that I've been doing this. I've been in a leadership role now for about 10, 11 years. I've also been in production now for 12, 13 years. And so I accepted a long time ago that I could do both. And as far as like leading PAK, for example, I've developed almost a set of principles on how to operate and ultimately developed a value proposition, right? What?
I think you got some spinach in it. Yeah.
Braces, bro.
I know. Yeah,
It's hard.
no, you didn't.
No, well,
Yeah. To get it behind the scenes.
it's gonna be hard, yeah. Hi, do you have toothpicks? No. All right, so no luck. One of the worst things about having braces, stuff gets in your teeth, and there is absolutely zero chance of finding a toothpick. Is the worst thing when you're filming. All right, so we just finished eating, and while we were eating, I had something stuck in my teeth, which I still maybe do, but hopefully it doesn't show up as much. And Nathan actually asked me a question that I thought was really good. And the question was, how has it been leading PAK? And, you know, what my mind took me to was, not that it's been easy. I don't want to share that. However, I've been in leadership now for 10 years or so. And so through that time, I've created almost like a foundation of leadership, right? In my dealings with people, in overall creating a value proposition that I've seen work and that I've seen help agents become successful, not just in real estate, but also some have gone on to do other businesses and have become successful as well. And so, again, circling back, it's not that it's easy. However, I feel like when you build a strong foundation, that it doesn't necessarily feel like work. It feels like you're doing what you're meant to be doing. And that's what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. The cool part I'll share about PAK, though, is that we're now doing it across the nation. And so before, we used to do it on a little bit of a smaller scale here in Rancho Cucamonga. And now we're doing it in 5 different states. And so we're basically able to knock down the barriers of state lines, and we're able to impact people, you know, anywhere throughout the United States. And so that's been really cool. So that's kind of my long-winded answer to that on leading PAK.